do this, Exile.
Stop!
You can still
I can bring them
join
back.
us.
Joanna,
It's
I
your
can
chance
bring your
to bring back
entire
anyone
order
you've
back.
ever loved or cared
Just
about.
give me a...
Hey everyone, so today I've got some exciting updates to my build that I can't wait to share with you. My Kinetic Blast of Clustering build has been absolutely surprising me. But trust me, it wasn't anywhere near its true potential until now. In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from using basic gear to crafting some insanely powerful items with Recombinators, getting crazy drops, improving my defense layers, and optimizing my build for even more speed and power. I'll also talk about some valuable lessons I learned along the way. So if you want to see how I took this build to the next level, using drops from some of the farm sessions I did in Delirium and Harbinger, keep watching. So most of the items I'm using here, I crafted them with Recombinators. Now, getting 4 T1 mods on an item may sound like a nightmare, but the trick is actually simpler than you think. I'm not going to deep dive on all the nitty-gritty details just yet, that's for another video, but here's the quick rundown. First, you alt spam until you hit a T1 prefix on 2 separate magic bases. Then you combine those until you get a rare item with both T1 prefixes. Next, you repeat the process for the suffixes. Alt spam until you get 2 bases with the T1 suffix you need. Then you recombine those into a rare item with 2 T1 suffixes. Now here comes the expensive part, where the real fun begins. First you craft multi-mod, so can have up to 3 crafted modifiers. And then add Jun or Unveiled crafted modifiers. Just a heads up, these mods are a bit tricky, they need to be the Unveiled type. The mods you unlock to craft after unveiling them with June. You repeat this process on both of your rare bases, the one with 2 T1 prefixes and the one with 2 T1 suffixes. Finally, you recombine those 2 rare items, and most of the time, you end up with 4 T1 modifiers. It's a pretty solid success rate, but it does take some patience. You could push it even further by crafting another rare item with 4 T1 mods, and combining those bases to make an even more insane item. But to be honest, I didn't go that route for everything, because, well, I needed the divines for my endgame items. Now keep in mind, crafting like this isn't cheap. You're spending divines on the crafting bench and using up a lot of dust and gold for the recombination attempts. So before you start this process, make sure you've done your research, especially on the potential price of your finished item. You don't want to end up spending more than it's worth.
Damn, boy, he's thick! Boy, that's a thick-ass boy! Damn!
So I'll show you the results right now. I applied the same process to my ring, boots, and body armor. As for my wand and shield, I bought fractured bases and spammed essences. So where does all this crafting lead me? Well, the current build setup costs around 90 divs when you factor in other items, even jewels and gems. Of course, you could get lucky with the crafts and spend a bit less. For the current investment, the build's great. You can do some of the bosses, it just won't deal easily with some of the high-end game farms comfortably. So between the money I made from the Delirium rewards farming and everything I dropped with the Harbinger farm, including the 2 mirror shards, you heard that right, 2 mirror shards, I made some solid sales and finally had enough to make some big boy upgrades. And the best part, the current build is now getting much closer to what I was aiming for. Things are coming together. I've made some massive improvements, starting with my body armor. This fractured grasping mail is giving me a huge DPS boost. Check this out, This beauty cost me 220 divines, but it was totally worth it for the DPS boost. Look at this. It's not fully crafted yet, but I'm planning to buy more essences to finish it off and get even more DPS out of it. This modifier opens up a ton of possibilities across my other gear slots, allowing me to push my deck stacking even further. And trust me, that's going to pay off big time. I also picked up a much better ring and added a Calandra's Touch to double its potential. Serious upgrade. I also swapped Fractal Thoughts as soon as I hit around 1000 decks. It's cheap and it gave me more DPS than Mind of the Council. Huge upgrade. This tempo modifier on the gloves is also giga good. So that's it with the current state. I've been able to try some cool new farms. I'll keep improving the build until the end of the league. Maybe some fancy jewelry or a Wand Squire setup. I'll drop the links in the description for the current version of this build, as well as the POB for the pre-upgrade version, and even the budget version for around 50 to 60 divs. That's a wrap. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more builds and tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.